are continuing with the next session regarding the driving forces of a net zero district heating. And the first speaker in this session is Professor Christos Vlachokostas. We have introduced you, Christos, before, so the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, dear Kyriaki. As I said, I'm very glad to be here. One thing that I would like to add is that in the department, in the School of Mechanical Engineering, I teach heat transfer. So, you know, there are a lot of mechanical engineers here. In the Mechanical Engineering department, we deal a lot of numbers. But when we are discussing with our team in Aristotle University of Thessaloniki, what would be our, let's say, added value to today's workshop, we decided to discuss about something that it is, in my opinion, more generic, but it is of vital importance when we are discussing the essential, the success of this kind of alternative approaches. As we were discussing on the lunch break with some of our colleagues here in the workshop, we have, I said that innovation is something that people usually, it's a bit frightening. It's a bit scary for a lot of people. Today I will try to say some things about circular economy and energy utilities. That was the title originally we have discussed with Yannis. I will give some insights that I have published in a monograph that is entitled Closing the Loop Between Energy Production and Waste Management, a Conceptual Approach Towards Sustainable Development. Always have in mind that, and this is important when we are discussing cities, net zero cities, 50% of global population is essentially concentrated inside urban conurbations, okay, in cities. So sustainability is of vital importance, resilience, and if we want to see let's say, transformation, okay, of energy and waste systems. This is the discussion here. The important thing is that we have, let's say, a tale of two challenges for sustainable development. The one challenge is energy transition, which is meticulously described in our project NEUTRON, and the next one is waste management. This is a tale of two challenges. Two challenges important when we are discussing sustainability in urban areas, in regional areas, and of course, also in national and European level. Sustainable design of energy utilities is also an important issue. And as we said, sustainability is not just about green. Sustainability, as we say in our laboratory, has multiple colors. Sustainability is all about merging, all about providing consensus between economy, environment, and society. So, energy utilities, circularity of energy is also an important. Production, transportation, storage, and of course consumption. But energy in the frames of linear economy is undoubtedly, and it goes without saying, not a sustainable model. So, waste is a resource that should be also introduced in the supply chain. We have two supply chains. We have the waste supply chain, we have the energy supply chain. We need, of course, there's a demand for environmentally sound management, waste management, but also we see that the waste is all a pool of potential energy sources and resources. So, my central role is in this, let's say, speech is about an important waste-to-energy strategy that our country should also look, always thinking in terms of intelligent waste-to-energy strategies or smart waste-to-energy strategies. Of course, as I said, consumption is a different issue. We will see it separately, although you should not see it separately. For instance, smart buildings need smart consumers that meet in the middle approach towards sustainable management of energy resources. Consumption is of vital importance, and we need to have smart consumption. And as I always say, dear Konstantina, smart cities need smart citizens. But I'm leaving the consumption stage, the consumption phase beside, and let's see the basic pillars of intelligence when we are discussing successful circular waste-to-energy business models. Please have in mind that our participation in NEUTRON is related to biogas, to potential production of bioenergy in the area. So, we are discussing about waste-to-energy. And intelligence, if we want to see intelligence, this component of intelligence, of waste-to-energy supply chain management, we need to see processes. There are technologies, but some of them are unfortunately demonized in many countries. Okay, for instance, let's say when we are discussing about anaerobic digestion, a lot of people afraid pyrolysis, a lot of people afraid gasification. Okay, and anyhow, apart from intelligent supply chain management, we need to collect and sort our waste in a very, let's say, smart way. And when we're discussing about smart or intelligence, we also, I want to clarify that we mean information and communication technologies in all the aspects of our activity. Intelligent managers, for instance, public authorities, private enterprises, and intelligent residents, smart residents, which are also waste producers, emphasizing on smart sorting and collection. This can be heard as a theoretical aspect, a theoretical framework, but to be honest, they are very important, as Dimarchos Malouta said, in order to see the maximization of the efficiency of all this discussion that it is related to climate neutrality, to net zero cities, or in general to sustainability development and urban sustainability and development of our cities. The pillars of intelligence, in a glance, so the society was one important pillar when we are discussing sorting and collecting. The second is processes, waste to energy, supply chain, important the logistics and the reverse logistics of our waste and bundle of technologies. And the third one, collection, distribution, processing and disposing. The third pillar is management. So we need to have smart society, we need to have smart processes and smart managing, and all of them should interact. The driving forces, this is let's say, session is entitled as the driving forces of a net zero district heating, but we need also to emphasize here in our country, at least in my humble opinion, the decentralization of energy production. It is important to see decentralized production of energy. And this is also something that has to do with intelligence, and not only with intelligence, also with energy safety, energy supply. And if you see, if we discuss the intelligent supply chain notion, this also cannot stand on its own. We need systematical support of participatory processes. This is an important process when we are discussing the societal pillar of sustainability. Participatory processes via ICT tools, this is the intelligent part, the intelligent element, if you like, of the discussion, and e-techniques to be promoted for collective facilitation and sustainable management. Sustainable management and circular economy, we could say, as a road path, or if we want to see a roadmap towards circularity of energy. We have discussed about intelligent residents and professionals as producers. And this is also, as I said in my first Greek speech, a very complex issue because it is essentially something that it has a lot of synergies between technological, economic, societal, and environmental aspects. Smart network of residents. I mean, we have another case in Greece. We try to see with a municipality the possibility of people just, take their mobile phones and register the waste that they produce in order for the municipality to optimize the collection. But anyhow, we need smart network of citizens, which, as I said, are waste producers, sorters, collectors, and distribution to special processes. These producers, as I said, are collectively mobilized. This is also, as I said to my friend Yorgos, this is a vision, okay? It seems theoretical, but in a way, it can be realistically realized if we seriously see the societal pillar of the Sustainable Development Framework. The entire spectrum of chain activities, okay, ranges from collection, as I said, to final disposals. There are a lot of waste that at this point is not exploited in the efficiency that it should have been. And this is also something, as also Konstantinas said, about quadruple helix. We need to have private, we need to have public participants, step-by-step, systematic routines, and this is the importance of, let's say, the information and communication technology. It is essentially this scheme, this is a concept that has to do with an ECBIOSIS concept, where the waste and energy supply chains could be monitored in parallel. Anyhow, I think that we all know that this minimization, collection, processing, waste to energy and disposal is something that it is meticulously discussed in our country, but how efficiently it is applied at this point. I mean, there are a lot of cities that you may see that they do not, the residents do not know how to recycle. Okay. If the residents do not know how to recycle, it is very difficult to discuss about smart, intelligent citizens, or let me vision the embedding information and communication technologies in the supply chain to, let's say, collect, sort, and recycle, or use waste, especially when we are discussing waste or bio-waste as potential energy sources. Anyhow, this is also a scheme that has to do with the quadruple helix model, since we are discussing about drivers in this workshop. Securing waste, this is important, and I think that this should be firstly the most important responsibility for public authorities. Environment and climate, this is important for the academia, which is also an element of the quadruple helix. Cost efficiency, this is important, of vital importance for the private sector. And social participation, this is for the, let's say, the communities of citizens. And if we cannot provide synergies for realistic synergies with real people, real, let's say, groups for interaction, this is the key word, interaction, it is very difficult to see, in my opinion, an optimized way of producing this kind of concepts. Participation process for optimal participation. Information and communication technology. We are discussing with a guy here about smart systems, smart sensors. Everything is about smartness. The importance is that the the intelligence component should be strongly associated with our residents. And if we can succeed, this can provide a multiplying effect in the whole effort when we are discussing about climate neutrality, for instance, or encountering climate change. Especially when adopting, there's a theoretical, let's say, framework that I have published about the middle pathway approach in local and decentralized level towards smart energy production for circular economy business models, something like that. I mean, okay, you have the supply chain, suppliers, producers, okay, storage, distribution, consumers in the horizontal, but vertically you have two approaches that should be, in my opinion, efficiently facilitated. So we need facilitators to make this, let's say, theoretical framework come true. We have the top-down approach from the ministry to the resident, but we also have the bottom-up approach for residents and professionals towards efficiently, if you allow me to say, let's see this top-down and bottom-up approach as a hybrid approach that meets in the middle, a middle pathway approach. The bottom-up approach is usually missing. At least from my 25, 30 years of experience, I think that the bottom-up approach is something that is missing, or it is not so efficiently applied, and you have scientific tools in order to apply efficiently the bottom-up approach. I'm moving fast because I don't want to, I know we have problem with time. So, intelligence is based on the interaction between residents, professionals, and managers. Important links of the same chain. People should be empowered, okay? As I think Mayor Maloutas discussed about it gave emphasis to the people. And should be empowered to make better informed decisions, decisions should have interaction, an interactive attitude that supports the background for collective rational utilization of waste and energy resources. And if we see a last participatory management interface, which is a form of e-symbiosis that I propose, this can be realized. I mean, at this point, we are discussing about artificial intelligence, we're discussing about digital twins, we're discussing about a lot of approaches that could realize, let's say, an e-symbiosis, which is essentially something that has to do a lot of data, a lot of sharing, a lot of model, a lot of narratives. It is important for people to understand. Unfortunately, most of the times people do not understand the technology, do not understand what is green heat module, do not understand what is anaerobic digestion and what are the benefits for societies. And this is important. We could also see visualization, e-participation, collaborative awareness platforms. These are all tools that could efficiently be applied in order to expedite this bottom-up approach. I gave emphasis to this because, in my opinion, there is no planet B, and as I said, we are discussing about two challenges, two tails, if you like. And if we consider climate change and having in mind that the waste management sector confronts many questions that cannot be answered on their own, it's a very difficult problem, and that's why there's a lot of discussion also in the Green Deal about circular economy. The energy sector is an ideal match. This is something that has to be, in my opinion, clearly understood by the citizens, by the people, by the communities. The energy sector is an ideal match due to its necessity to constantly meet the growing demand in the energy supply chain. So, it should not be demonized, it should not be criminalized, if you like. Smart waste-to-energy technologies can simultaneously address two fundamental issues. The first one is processing non-reusable, useless, in other words, and non-recyclable waste streams. And the second one is producing significant energy amounts, or if you like, bioenergy in the case of our study in the frames of NEUTRON, in the corresponding supply chain to satisfy the growing needs in regions over the world. So, last but not least, I would like to say, although as I said, I teach heat transfer, we deal a lot with numbers. Sometimes numbers are not so efficiently understood, not so efficiently communicated. Maybe sometimes they are not the way in order to be efficiently, let's say, to be efficient when we are discussing approaches, alternative technologies in communities. It is my strong belief, as I say, that in the case of waste-to-energy solutions, such as that of the anaerobic digestions, for instance, that we see in NEUTRON, if these are implemented, a rational waste processing and treating strategy and a low carbon footprint in parallel for energy production can be accomplished simultaneously. And in my opinion, if this is completely understood, truly understood by the communities, at that point, the tale of two challenges, of these two important challenges for our sustainability, waste management, and energy transition, energy transformation, if you like, these two challenges may have a parallel happy end, both for the energy transition and waste management challenges. I was very fast. I hope I didn't take much of that time. As I said, it may seem theoretical, but in my opinion, it's a very important aspect when we are discussing all these important threats for our sustainable development. Many thanks for your attention.